All right. Welcome to the Flawless Empire Rock Solid team call, the first one of 2019.
Woo! Crazy.
It's so cool to have a first call of the year because it's a blank slate, right? Like you get to decide what you do with this entire year, with this business, with your fitness and nutrition journey. And it's a clean slate. You get to write your year. It's so awesome. And we're going to talk about that a little bit at the end. First, Courtney and I are going to go through some housekeeping stuff like we always do. There's so much stuff going on in Beachbody land. And then we're going to kind of give a little pep talk at the end about some things that we've been experiencing within our teams. So first, we wanted to just talk to you about, hopefully you noticed by now, the new team calendar. And Courtney and I are working on this together. Courtney's got a copy of hers right there. They're both pinned to the top of our pages. And if you look on those, it gives you ideas of what to post each day. A lot of us have that kind of block as to what to post. So it gives you at least one post per day. If you look on that calendar, also team calls are there and they're a little bit different. I don't know, Courtney, you want to go over the difference between team calls?
Yes. So we'll have different calls throughout the different weeks of the month, kind of depending on where you're at in your business. So the first Tuesday of the month is always going to be our all team call, which is what this is, where we'll do some housekeeping, really some updates from corporate or some things that you guys need to be in the know about, and with some things that Lori and I want you guys to hear going through the month. And then you guys can follow the calendar from there on, depending on where you're at in your business. So the second Tuesday of the month, Lori and I are using that second Tuesday to meet with our personally sponsored coaches. So if you're assigned to either of us, you guys will see us next week. Third Tuesday of the month is our Emerald call. So that is for paid Emeralds and above. And the focus of that group is to really dig in a little bit more with you guys and help you kind of make that leap from Emerald to Diamond, and kind of just talk about things that you don't maybe know right now at like where you're at. And we want to help you grow. I mean, really, anywhere you're at, the purpose is to continue to extend yourself beyond there, to continue to grow, reaching more people, helping more people. And so the third Tuesday will be that. And the fourth Tuesday of the month is going to be a Diamond Mastermind. It's going to be an 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time call, which I know is a different change. I know we've got coaches that work full time. We will record the Diamond calls. Okay. So if you can't hop on live because you work and that doesn't fit your schedule, that's okay. We'll record them because we know the evenings are hard for some people too. So that's when Lori and I are going to dig in with our diamonds. Must be a paid diamond or higher to get on those calls. That'll be the fourth Tuesday of the month. And we're really going to use that opportunity to help you guys with higher level leadership thoughts, building your team. But we're going to bring in a lot of guest speakers, bring in people that from corporate, other leaders to kind of help share what it is that they're doing that's working. So those are going to be really, really valuable calls. So that's the team call calendar. Until we tell you it changes, it stays the same. So print this off. If you haven't printed off your monthly calendar, again, it's tagged as an announcement in Rock Solid and also Flawless Empire. So print it off, you guys, so you have it. Because like Lori said, there are scripting information on here. Like if you're stuck on what to post, you have a post every single day. You can create your own, but you don't have to. It's right here. So any coach can hop on there and use that. Plus, we also map out there like the dates in which our groups are starting, where you should be in terms of, your Success Club goals. The reminders about the team calls are on here. And that's it. Oh, I guess one thing I do want to talk about the calendar real fast, Lori, is just that we did shuffle. I guess maybe for your team, this isn't very new, but for Rock Solid, this is going to look a little bit different for the layout, but this will be the layout and the format we use going forward, you guys. So helping you with your invites as you're planning out your month. The first week of the month is always going to be prep week for our big ongoing challenge groups, our Rise Up projects. That is going to be prep week. The second week of the month is when the Rise Up project will restart every single month. The third week we're reserving for our sneak peeks, and that format may change throughout the year. It might be a live call. It could be a 3-day peak. So this month we have it as a 3-day peak. It's always kind of trying to see what works best for people. And then the last week of the month is when we have on there for a free group. You guys, that's on you. That's up to you. This is when you get a chance to be a leader and to run that. If you've got one working coach, if you don't have any working coaches, grab a success partner, run a free group, grab a clean eating challenge, do a wall sit challenge, do a water challenge. You guys, it doesn't have to be complicated. Free groups are an amazing way to build your funnel, to build trust with people, and to offer things with no expectation at the end of them, right? So they typically don't require a ton of your time, but they do add a ton of value to other people, which is exactly what we do. So we move that around. So you'll do your free group at the end of the month, which becomes your funnel for the new month, okay? So in that free group, building relationships, working to help them get into your challenge group the following month. So that will be our format for the whole year. So your invites should all be linked around that. So you're not inviting to two things at once. Like right now, all of your posts should be about filling the Rise Up project, you guys. Monday is when we kick off. Like your last call post should be going up. If you haven't hit Success Club yet, I know it's early in the month, you guys. Work on that. Like make that a goal for yourself by Monday to have hit helping 3 people get started in the Rise Up project. You can still add people after that, but Monday's day 1. You don't want them to feel behind. And then so on and so forth. So anyway, I just wanted to go over that because that is new for Rock Solid.
Awesome. And it'll keep the flow of every month having something to invite to. Like Courtney said, you'll always have your challenge group open for enrollment. But if you get someone that's interested in joining your challenge group, of course, there's always room, right? We all know we really don't have limited space in our challenge groups. We just kind of say that to hurry them along and, to have like an open enrollment. And then our coach sneak peek as well. It's a great opportunity to invite people in that second week of the challenge group when they're like, okay, I feel amazing. What is this? I want to hear how to get a discount. Maybe some of my friends are starting to talk to me. So really the way that we map this out, it's a nice flow. The next thing we wanted to talk about, if you did not listen, today's National Wake Up Call with Carl Deichler, the CEO of our company. He gave a challenge to print out 52 of our business activity trackers.
And these are new. This is a new tracker.
This is a new tracker that they created. There was a test group. Courtney and I were in the test group for this tracker. You need to print out, take his challenge. I would love to have a Rock Solid Flawless Empire challenge and get a bunch of us and make a collage and post it. Maybe Carl will repost it or something. But my husband, I sent him today to work with a task of printing out 52 of these because he has a laser printer and I'm not using my inkjet. So he's printing out 52 of these. I'm going to bound them and I'm going to use this. I'm going to go back to the good old Beachbody Success Club system business activity tracker. So I'm challenging all of you to do the same and listen to his awesome National Wake Up Call today as well.
And if you don't have a printer, you guys send it to Staples, send it, I don't know, Kinko's. Is Kinko's even still around anymore? Am I totally dating myself from college? So I send my stuff off to Kinko's. Probably right there with like CVS 1 hour photo, right? Anyway, so send it off, but do it. Because what I love about it is that if you're going to make the commitment to print off 52, that means you're committing to being here a year from now, which if you're here and you're a new coach or you've been here for a while and maybe you're kind of like not getting the traction that you want to get, you guys know that what you do today and tomorrow and then repeating that every single day over the next time rewards you months from now. So like my upline always to say, like, your hard work is going to reward you this time next year. And I was like, oh, that's so like anticlimactic, right? But like that really shows who's in it, right? Like this business is not going to happen overnight. These are people, these are relationships, those are conversations that you're having. So be here a year from now and have your completed 52-week business activity trackers. If you are doing those honestly, and really connecting with people and doing it with heart and finding the joy in the process of it, not just like chasing Success Club numbers, but actually truly following the tasks, there is no way a year from now you have not advanced your level of success, whatever your goals are that you're shooting for, right? Like it's impossible. Don't you agree, Lori? Like it would be impossible to be in the same place you are today if you follow that tracker for 52 weeks. Like I guarantee if you follow that for the next 12 weeks, you will be in a much different place then than you are today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing I told my coaches is if they want to set up a call with me to talk about goals, they've got to have at least a week or two's worth of trackers to show me that they've been working the business before we can talk about why it's not working. So seriously, like do this for at least 2, 3, 4 weeks. Imagine where you're going to be in 52 weeks. So take his challenge seriously, print them out, do them. When I was in the T20 test group, they didn't send us materials. We had to print everything out. So I did exactly that. I sent the tracker, the book that you guys all have with the cute little, I left today. You know, I had to send that to Staples and get it printed out and bind it. And it said test group all over it. So we could barely write on it. But that was just something that I committed to the test group. So I committed to that. So all of you guys commit to yourself, commit to your business, and print these out and do the things, right?
Yes.
I hope by now you've written a vision board or goals. That's our next thing we're going to talk about. I finished mine up today. It's not pretty. I'm not like I always do these charts. I'll share mine in my team page. I know both Courtney and I have a photo album called Vision Boards. So when you complete your vision board, put it in there. One of the things that helped me a few years ago when I created mine, I created 3 columns: family goals, personal goals, and business goals. So that's what I have on my vision board. And I've been doing that every year for 3 years. So if you need help with that, we also have our goal getter group. And I had a few people ask if it was too late to join. Of course, it's not too late to join. So get in there and join. The link to the group is automatically at the end of the form. So if you answer the questions in the form, get in there. You're going to have to play catch up for a few days, but it's doable. Get in there. I'm hearing nothing but awesome response. I'm acting as a challenger in there too and doing the things. So is Courtney. So get in there. If you don't know what it's all about, message the team page after this. Let's see. Oh, the shared leadership. Courtney, you talk about that for a...
Yeah. So when Lori and I were chatting on Sunday for our Sunday morning coffee dates, which we're going to keep doing, and I don't know if Chris is on here or not, but she totally sort of sparked and inspired that when she was up early with her crew doing their Energize chat. But anyway, Lori and I talked, there are so many things that, that could make our team page not only just run a little smoother, but give everybody an opportunity to be a leader and to help add valuable information to really contribute and the things that need to get done. Like, we are a team, we work together. While sometimes, like that you might see more people kind of posting, it gives other coaches a chance to be in a leadership role. It gives you a chance to be in a leadership role. And it gives your coaches a chance to see you in a leadership role. So the shared leadership document, we'll post it every single month. So January's is up. If you have not signed up for anything yet, go in there and sign up for it. Now, here's what I told one of my coaches, because she messaged me and said, I'm terrified. I said, do the things that scare you the most. You know what I mean? Like, this is your opportunity to totally get out of your comfort zone. When it's a Tuesday tip, go live and give the tip, right? Like, your team page is the perfect place for you to practice the skills that you want to build on. You guys, going live is scary in front of your peers, right? But your team page is such a safe place to do that. So go live in there, share the Tuesday tip or whatever, sign up for whatever. But when you sign up, I wouldn't just look at it and say, oh, this one's easy, that's what I'll do. I want you to sign up for the one that makes you the most uncomfortable. And I want you to do that in the page and practice that skill, because that will transfer over into your challenge groups and, your other social media avenues. Like, that's how you get better and work on your skill set, is to practice it. So anyway, sign up for those. We'll make sure February's gets up, like the 4th week of the month, so people can kind of start filling them up. But we'd like to see there be a good rotation of leaders sharing in there, right? So we don't want to necessarily have to babysit and assign. So take ownership. Let's fill up that document, write it down in your planner so you know what day it is that you have.
Awesome. And then we were just going to talk a little bit about the Rise Up project for anyone in here that doesn't understand it, and know like what it represents, what it means. I actually had the challenger ask if it's Sean T's initiative, if it's Rachel Hollis's initiative, if it's some other I'm like, no, it's just, we came up with it and it kind of goes with everything. Yes, Rachel Hollis's podcast is called Rise, the Step, you're rising up against your plateaus. It's just an awesome movement, and talk about it like that. So each month, Courtney and I are going to come up with themes for our challenge groups, and we hope you guys come up with themes also to make it sound like each month is a little bit different, but the whole theme of the year is Rise Up. So this month it's New Year Jumpstart. So January Jumpstart of the Rise Up project. We haven't come up with February or March, but we're thinking some things we've used in the past, like self-love for Valentine's Day, shamrockin' for March, spring into action for, April, but fun, still being able to use the themes of the year, but also staying with the Rise Up project. We have tank tops and t-shirts that you can get for your challengers for prizes or for you to show that you're part of something huge. And something that I'm going to share tonight is we just made cup labels too. It's a little smaller than this. This is way too big. I had a really hard time getting it on there, so my girl is shrinking it. So before I share the link with you, she's shrinking it. But just another cool thing, for $5, you could do a weeks-long challenge. The person that checks into your group the most wins a cup label, and then they put it on their cup and they feel like they're part of a huge movement because they are. And then maybe they want to be part of something even more and they want to become a coach. So all these little things that you do that make us feel like a community and make us feel like something more, it really helps with you building your business, making people a part of something bigger than they think they are. So look for that. And also the t-shirts and the tank tops, it's not just when you go into that website, you can make it any color, any style. You can make the print gold. I know one of my coaches made like a turquoise with gold letters. I just created a generic, but you can go in and do it, have fun with it, do whatever you want. Also, you can do a prize with that maybe at the end of the month for somebody that wants to win, a t-shirt or a tank top. But have fun with it. I know a lot of you have ordered, which is really cool. Use the hashtag. Tell your challengers to use the hashtag and tag you. So that's our Rise Up project. If anyone has any questions about that, just throw it in the Zoom chat. But we'll just move right along. Courtney, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about the T20 relaunch and what we mean about that.
So we obviously T20, we did a launch in early December, but we want to relaunch that page, you guys. We've got less than a week till we actually go live on Beachbody On Demand with T20. So if that is a program that you're diving into next week, you guys find some people to come with you and do that with you, whether it be your current, here's where my brain always works when I start with, depending on where you're at in your business, but if you've been around for a while, you've got a customer list to work with, right? So here's how my brain always works when I'm inviting to launches. My current customer base. You guys, your current customers are your best customers. Are they ready to do this with you? Are they ready to be part of the Rise Up project? Are they interested in T20? Yes. Help them get started, right? So start there. Start creating a list. Go in your back office, download your customers, and get calling people. Get messaging them, you guys. Like literally, I texted a lot of mine the other day because they're people that I'm close with, right? You don't have to start sending text messages. They're not like friends, family, those kinds of people. But however, the best way to communicate is invite them. If you never ask, the answer is always no. You can't assume they saw your social media post. You can't assume they saw your post in launch group. You got to be more proactive than that, you guys. Do you want to change their life in 2019? If the answer is yes, send them a message. So that's where I start. And then I go to social media, right? So I open it up to my current customer base first, and then I go to social media because my goal is to always help a few new people every single month, right? Like if you want to grow your business, you got to bring some new people in, some new energy, some new people to help start sharing about that on all of your platforms. Lori and I both shared, Instagram story slides. If you've got ones that you've been using that are working really well, share them in the team page. Teamwork makes the dream work, you guys. We all want to work smarter, not harder. Share those with us. And then start sharing on your other social media platforms. Use a transformation story. Use somebody's story. Use several stories. Use your story. Post the results from the test group in your comment thread, right? And then go in the team page and let people know that you just posted an invitation and you're terrified and you'd love some support. Let the team go help you. Boost that into the newsfeed. But we want to relaunch this. So we have a group where you can put people in for information. So that's a very gentle way to invite people to say, would anybody like more information on this group? Comment below and I'll add you in. We have our launch groups that are there. We want to help them get started. So we're going to relaunch this group. What did we decide? Thursday, Friday, we were going to do it?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're somebody that would like to hone in on your leadership skills and help us launch some information, maybe post in that page, please let Lori or I know so we can delegate some help there so that you guys can, if you've got people in there, they want to see you leading. So let us know how you can help in that group, because nobody wants to just see Lori and I always posting, right? Like we don't want to always be the ones posting either. We've got launch groups, a lot of people in them, but they're not going to see any information unless we start connecting with them in those pages. So anyway, we're going to relaunch it Thursday, Friday. All the information's in there, you guys. So we're really, really trying not to like repeat all the same information, but you got to bring new people in. If you don't bring anybody in, they're not going to see the information. So the next 2 days, your goal is to start getting people in that group so we can start giving them the details that they need to jump in with us.
All right, and we've got 2 other quick things to talk about before we give you some motivation, but Super Weekend, just a quick raise of hands. Give me a wave if you're going to your Super Weekend. It's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're no longer called Super Saturday because it confuses people. People show up on Saturday and it's really on Sunday. So they are Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in your area. It's your responsibility to find out where the closest one is to you, and you can go in your Coach Online office. There's a spot where you can put in your zip code and the closest one will pop up. Super Weekend is awesome. It is a great place to invite future challengers to. Actually, most Super Weekends, if you're not a coach, it's free for you. Think about that. So if you have somebody that wants to join you in your business or just as a challenger, bring them. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister who thinks you're crazy. Bring them to Super Saturday and they will leave wanting to join you. I promise you. And also next Tuesday on the calendar, if you look really, really closely in gold ink above where it says team call, we're having corporate at 7:30. Jeff Mathewson, who is, I don't remember, 5-star and above corporate mentor for South and Southeast. He's going to talk about volume and why it's really, really important to build your business for volume if you want to earn a paycheck. It's not, yes, it's all about building and hitting Success Club to keep your business growing, but volume is huge. And I know that both Courtney and both Rock Solid and Flawless Empire, I think we are weak in understanding how to place coaches and how to build for volume. So we're having him as a guest next week, but it's 7:30 because Utah is different time zone. So 7:30 Eastern. I know that's super early for you, Jenny. I'm like looking at you. So mark your calendar. That's going to be really great. I'd love to have attention like this of like 60 or more for him. That would be awesome. All right. We are going to pump you up with some awesome rise up stuff. And Courtney's going to talk a little bit first about believing in yourself. So get ready to be fired up. Take some notes. Here she goes.
And I've got some notes because I was listening to Bob Heilig today talk about belief. And I don't know if any of you guys follow. He's your virtual upline. He's the podcast, and he's amazing. If you don't listen to his podcast, I suggest that you do because he presents network marketing in such an applicable way that we follow too, like building relationships with people, not icky network marketing, right? But anyway, he talked a lot about belief today. And basically what he led with was, do you lead with your head or do you lead with your heart? And when you're thinking about actions, what you're doing, whether it be an invitation or whether it be a coaching, something that's going on in your coaching business, or even with your children or with your spouse, do you lead with your head or do you lead with your heart? And he was really relating this back to his experience going to Tony Robbins. What is that, Lori?
Oh, there's so many, but
what's the upward one? The UP.
I don't know, but it's just a pep rally.
Yeah. And so with Tony Robbins, he believes like to bring out your inner giant, you have to do the inside work, right? Like to be a boss in this business, you got to be so together on the inside. And so if you're leading with your head, meaning you're making decisions just based on your head, you're running your business in autopilot. Like you're not really taking time to consider the inside stuff, right? Like what is the impact of that? Like how does it go? Like if you're just following your calendar and just kind of doing the things and like checking off the boxes, you're going in autopilot. But what happens there is when things start to go a little awry, which they probably will, or things start to get a little boring or a little whatever, you lead with your head. And it's funny that I'm talking about this because this was me with Lori today. She was very patient with me today, and I just love her so much. But today was not a good day for me. I was leading with my head way too much, okay? And when you do that and you step into autopilot, your belief in yourself just starts to really go down because you start to think like, there's something wrong with me. Like, why is this not going the way that I want it to go? And he tells you, take a step back, lead with your heart. Because it's the inside stuff that really has to change that's going to drive the belief back in you versus just doing the things, right? Like just doing the things doesn't bring results. You have to really take it in and figure out where the disconnect is. And more than likely, it has nothing to do with your systems. It has something to do with maybe a struggle you're dealing with. But what I loved his example that he gave was belief is a thought with absolute certainty about what it means. So this doesn't mean positive or negative. Like you could believe in something so positively and it could be for the positive, but you could also believe in something and it be totally for the negative, right? Like, I'm not a good coach. I'm not a good mom. We did this at our diamond retreat, right? Like the lies we tell ourselves, the beliefs, if you tell yourself them enough over and over and over again, they become truth. That's what you believe. And he used the example of when you're going to buy a car and you go and you buy a red car and then all of a sudden all you do is see all red cars all over the road and you think everyone has a red car. It's like you've surrounded and you've immersed yourself so much on one topic that it becomes so clearly evident that's all you can focus on. So if all you're focused on is that my challengers aren't getting results, and then you're just surrounded by all these reminders of like feeling like you're responsible for that, right? But you have to do the heart work, where is the disconnect, and believing in yourself that it's not that I'm a bad coach and it's not that they're bad challengers, but there's something else that needs to be shifted. And so the belief is created in everybody so that we're all on the same path and we're all getting results. But as we're in 2019, you guys, this is the time where we're going to remind you, and I'm going to tell Lori, I'm going to hold Lori accountable to this tomorrow when I message her. She can tell me, are you leading with your head? Are you leading with your heart? To remind me about the belief systems in yourself, right? So if you want to be a great coach to others, you want to be a great mom to your children, you want to be a great spouse to your husband or your wife or your partner or whoever, you have to believe in yourself first, and you have to lead from your heart. So when making your decisions about your business in 2019 and making your decisions about what you're going to do with your team and making your decisions about what you're going to do in your challenge groups, get out of autopilot in your head and lead with your heart and truly leave your mark on other people. Because in doing that, your belief in yourself is going to raise. You'll no longer doubt yourself and fill yourself with those lies, right? Like you won't have any reason to do that because, again, the belief can be something that's positive or negative. It just matters how you look at it and how you continue to expose yourself to it. So believe in yourself, you guys. Whatever happened in 2018, we had a lot of amazing things that happened in 2018. And maybe there were some of you that weren't happy with how 2018 went. You've got to leave it behind you. And in 2019, you've got to start making the steps towards leading with your heart and focusing on the process that is going to get you where you want to go. And, Beachbody is just one sliver of your life. This is just one piece, but we all know that it sort of spills over, not because of the work, but because of the work that we do, right? Like it spills over. It makes us better wives. It makes us better parents. It makes us better friends and coaches, because we can't do our business if we are unwilling to change. That's where the stuckness gets, right? When we get stuck on our own journey. So stop leading with your head, stop doing the same things that haven't been working for the last year, and start leading with your heart and figure out where it is that the belief needs to come back in yourself to rise up to make some changes in 2019.
All right, so Courtney was a little bit of the good cop. So I'm going to give a little bit of tough love and be a little bit of the bad cop. So I'm going to talk a little bit about leadership and owning your own business and taking those limiting beliefs and really truly believing, getting rid of them and believing in yourself and not blaming your upline for not telling you things, not blaming you couldn't find it, or you don't know how to get on the team call, or I didn't do the training, or I have to finish this. All of the things, all of the resources, everything that you need is right in front of you. It is a clean slate. It is 2019. You make the choice of where you are going to be a year from now, where you're going to be in July for Summit. Are you going to be walking across that stage, or are you going to be watching the other coaches on this call walk across the stage? That is up to you. Leadership right now, you can make the choice to be more of a leader. And I'm going to say this especially to Rock Solid, because this was a lot of what Courtney and I were chatting about today, is you guys have to stop relying on Courtney to do all the things. You have to start breaking away and doing your own challenge groups. If you're a coach on this call, Flawless Empire and Rock Solid, if you have a few coaches under you and they have a few challengers, it's time to break away and run your own challenge group. When your group gets to be about 80, 90, it's time to break away. It shouldn't get over 100. That's too big for these challenge groups. My first challenge group was like 27 people. It was amazing. I loved that challenge group. It was one coach, a bunch of challengers. We all got to know each other. Think about that experience. That's what you need to do. And you cannot lead a challenge group if you're relying on someone else to lead it and put them together. So if that's you, think about that in the next couple of weeks and breaking away. Leave the nest. It's okay. That's how you fly, right? Spread your wings and fly. And don't go back to the nest unless you really, really are struggling and you have to. But the only way to get better at something and the only way to lead is to do the scary things. You guys know how to run challenge groups by now. You really should. Those top coaches, they let their coaches in their challenge groups for like 3 months. I was telling Courtney this today. The first month, they're a challenger. The second month, they're an apprentice. And the third month, they're out on their own, running their own challenge groups. So seriously, think about that. If you want to be a leader of a team and you know, be a top 100 coach, act like it. Lead your coaches. Form your own groups. Run your own free group at the end of this month. Get off this call and think about what free group you're going to run. Partner up with someone. And don't ever feel like you have to do any of it alone, because leadership is lonely. Yes, I'm telling you to go out and lead and form your own group, but form it with another coach. Like Courtney and I partnered up last year, and it's been the greatest 2 years of our coaching career since we partnered up. Do the same thing with find a success partner on your team or on one of our teams and start running things together. Do things together. Have that person to bounce ideas off of and think of fun themes for challenge groups. And, oh my gosh, I forgot to post. Can you post for me today? If you didn't schedule it. But you know what I mean? Those things that you stress about in the middle of the grocery store because you forgot to do. So there's my bad cop spiel, but all of you, every single one of you is a leader. You just have to let yourself lead. All right. That's
it. It only sounds scary until you do it, you guys. I was telling Lori this today. Like I'll never forget, I was a new coach. I signed up in July. I shared my like halfway point results with T25 and like people wanted to join. And I was like, okay. So then I was all overwhelmed and I had told my upline coach because they had a big group that was running. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I've got like 24 people to add in there. And she was like, whoa, no, you're going to run your own group. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way. Like, I'm not prepared for that. My challenge group started, I was, at the time I was working in higher education. So it was the first day back to school. And that was my first day of my challenge group. So like, I was so overwhelmed. I was like, no way. I had two choices. I could choose to say like, I'm too overwhelmed, can't do it. Or, okay, I'm going to lean into the suck and I'm going to do it. And it was amazing. And honestly, that was the foundation of Rock Solid. Those 24, 26 people, because many of them became coaches and then they came and brought their people in. And, you know, we used to have a page or a group called Rock. What did we call it? I don't remember, but it was like our all group page and that was it. And that's just the thing, you guys, like if you've got one person, two people, five people, you create a challenge group, you create an accountability space for people and you get to be the leader and you get to have the voice, right? Like you want people connecting to your story. And as you grow and you bring more people in, you have more stories to share. But, you know, like sometimes I'll have coaches say like the group's too big, it's too overwhelming. And I was like, well, then do something. Go run your own group. Like if you don't want to be in mine because it's too big, then you can run your own. But yes, that Lori, and that was a lot of Lori and I's conversation today. She was giving me the tough love that I needed to hear because I was up here. So I don't think that was tough love, Lori. Like that's ownership. That's owning your business. That's, you know, not needing to take care of everybody else, but making sure that they learn to be leaders, because Lori was right. Like that's my job, is to teach you how to be a leader, not make sure that you don't fall out of the nest. Fall. Right. It's okay.
So spread your wings and fly and get those goals written and the vision board, post them in the team pages. Does anyone have any questions for us about anything that we talked about? Mark your calendar. I think there was somebody asking next Tuesday. Every Tuesday, it's going to be some sort of a team call. Team call Tuesday. Check the calendar to see which the team call is. We're not having an all-team call every Tuesday. And Courtney and I are having our own PS calls. We recommend you, if you have your own team, to have your own PS team call. Even if you only have 2 or 3 coaches, you have a team. Have a call with those coaches. Talk about stuff, right?
Yep. So like next week is your chance to do that.
Exactly.
With your team while Lori and I are doing that.
Okay. All right, guys. Happy 2019. We are so excited. As soon as I get the link for these labels, I will give them to you guys. I'll give them to Courtney. And that's it. Have a great night.
Night, guys.
Bye. You're welcome. You're welcome.